What's good, my G? Welcome to the Don't Go Broke Masterclass Part 3, Episode 3. Today we're gonna talk about greed. Let me introduce myself if you're new here. My name is Norman, I'm the crypto rapper, and I am not a memecoin millionaire yet, but I didn't go broke as I'm still in profit, so I'm beating 90% of the market, I guess. And today we're gonna talk about greed. So I got my notes here to give you full insight. Let's go. What is greed? Greed is an intense desire for excessive profits, often leading you into taking irrational risks or holding coins for too long. It is driven by fear or delusion. So now that we got the definition of greed, I'm going to talk about how to spot it, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to reduce it or eliminate it in the best cases. So, how to spot greed? Greed can come also in form of FOMO, fear of missing out, because greed is also when you buy a local top and you think, oh, it's gonna fucking moon. No, it's not. You just want it to fucking moon because you want excessive profits. So that's the first example on how to spot greed. Pretty easy. If you didn't catch that one, I might worry. Second way to spot greed is over leveraging, which can also happen to me. Happened to me today actually. Today I was up $200. Then I went down to 150 and I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna make more. Get back to $200 and I went down to $100, so I stopped. So let's get back to the topic. Over leveraging, yeah. It's when you think, you know, this shit is easy, you make a small loss, you're like, nah, this shit is easy, I'm gonna get that shit back in 2 seconds. So you double your size and then you lose a little bit more and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna make it all back in the next trade. And boom, you're too rushed, you're rushing things, you're in a hurry, you have no patience, which we talked about in the last episode. You have fear, which we talked in the first episode, and then you fuck it up because you put more and more on the next trade, more on the next trade, and you lose more and more, and next thing you know, you blew your fucking account. Congratulations. So that's another way to spot greed. Another one is ignoring exit strategies. And this is very important because I still do this. And I'm kind of ashamed because when you start trading, you know what works for you, but you still sometimes you still avoid it. You still don't consider it. Let's say you have a basic strategy. So you buy, and when you're up on a 2x, you take initials and then you let your moonbag ride. Or maybe you take 25% of the position every pump, every peak. And you have to respect that because the moment, you take a trade and you say to yourself, I'm gonna sell my initials at a 2x. And then it 2x is so fast, and you're like, nah, you switch and you don't listen to yourself anymore. And that's greed. Because you would say, nah, oh, I 2x so fast, so this is like just the beginning, it's gonna pump more, and then you round trip that shit and you don't make money. Another way to spot greed is emotional trading, and that one I struggle with a lot. It's feeling like the best example for this would be euphoria when you see something pump. If you watch my streams, you know the bomboclat candles. If you're new here, a bomboclat candle is basically like a god candle, like straight up. And when I trade and I see a bomboclat candle, I'm like, oh, bomboclat, all excited. That's when you should sell, you know? When you're excited for fast, big profits, you should probably sell. At least initials, like take your risk out of the play. So that's another sign of greed right there. Now, two more signs of greed are the opposite of the bomboclat candles. If you see something crashing and you think, like, you can see the KOLs dumping, you can see everyone dumping, maybe there is FUD on the coin, everybody selling, all the support levels are being broken, and you buy, and you buy more, and you buy more, thinking, oh my god, this is so cheap. When it's gonna go back up, I'm gonna make so much money. But the coin is dying, and you don't realize that. Happened to me a couple times. Once it happened to me on stream. I think I lost like 4 Solanas in one trade. That was disgusting. But yeah, that's also a sign of greed. The last sign on how to spot greed is chasing past performance, which is not chasing losses. It's, let's say you see a coin that goes to 1 million market cap, and it's just a random ass coin that got hyped by, maybe it was a tweet, something that has no longevity, and you think, oh, it went up to 1 million, so when it dips to 300k or 200k or 100k, you think, oh, it's gonna break all-time high, so it's gonna go above 1 million. But no, it's not gonna do that because it's a fucking tweet and it's gonna die. So yeah, those are the moments you can spot greed easily. Now let's move to tips on how to remove greed. We're all here, right, for this. So, of course, easiest one is set rules beforehand. As we talked in the fear video, as we talked in the patience video, it's all the same rules. Decide what you want to do before you trade. Sell at a 2x, sell initials at a 2x, sell on the pumps. I already said this 10 fucking times. Now, another tip is use stop losses. Stop losses here, guys, my G, are here for a reason, because it's to reduce your fucking loss. Because on a coin that you're gonna lose on, a stop loss is gonna reduce your loss. You gotta take the L anyway. Oh my god. The putting down your stop loss is not gonna help you make more money. So get that shit into your head right now. Now, another tip that I like is write down the KOLs that farm and pump and dump. Because especially new pairs, in meme coin trading, there's KOLs, which, if you don't know, it's key opinion leaders, which is basically influencers. The biggest influencers, they buy something and it super pumps, and then when they sell, it super dumps most of the time. So write down the ones that you don't wanna deal with. Like, there's a couple ones I'm not gonna mention, but you guys know, if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. There's some KOLs who just buy the floor, they hype the coin up, and once they sell, the coin is dead because they gave life to the coin. So as soon as they sell, it has no value anymore. So write down a list of influencers that you don't want to deal with. Next tip on how to reduce greed. I can't see shit. Sizing. Okay, as we talked about in previous videos, sizing is very important also, but today we're going to talk about sizing related to emotional attachment. You know? You're going to know. For example, today I took a trade that I want to put a lot in. And since I didn't want to get greedy, because I didn't want to oversize my bet, I put just a little bit so that when it goes up, I don't get too excited, and when it goes down, I don't get too fucking paranoid. So the less you put, the less you're emotionally attached to your trade. And you gotta find that amount, because I usually trade with like 0.5, and I noticed that with that, when I trade with 0.3, it's easier because I just don't stress about it. So find your sizing where you don't stress about it. Now, reflect on the past mistakes, of course. You gotta you gotta sell when you're excited. Like, again, I don't know why I wrote that shit twice, but it's probably because it's really important. So sell when you're excited, because there's gonna be infinite types of coins coming out anyway. If you stopped on the trades that you missed, you're gonna go crazy. And this month, bro, if I kept thinking about the trades that I missed that would have made me a millionaire by now, I would just stop it. So the two last tips, guys, are the most important. The second last one is think about the long term. So basically, don't think about getting that moonshot, winning the lottery. Just think about getting consistent P. Because even if you make $1 per trade and you make 100 good trades a day, you're gonna make $100 a day. But if you keep chasing that fucking moonshot and the lottery ticket, you may lose $1 per trade. And what if you don't get it? You know? So rather I would prefer to get those like 10, 20, $30 a trade and make like 10 of them a day, instead of getting that one moonshot. But of course, if you feel that a coin, like this doesn't mean that if you feel like you're in a runner, you should cheat. In that case, you gotta adapt your strategy, like taking out initials, which I think is the easiest one. Like, if you don't want to fucking stress, just take out your initials as soon as you stress instead of selling everything. So that it's basically free money. Either you get a little bit or you get a lot, but at least you don't lose. Because taking initials is basically always winning. So the last tip is meditate. Like we said yesterday in the patience video, when you have big emotions, even positive emotions, when you see a bombo clat candle, you're like, ah, oh my god, and you sell and you're all excited. Calm the fuck down, because you're gonna make mistakes. And when you're fucking angry, you're like, fuck this shit, man, I gotta make it back. And calm the fuck down too and meditate. One thing I am doing right now is meditating before trading, because you gotta stabilize your heart rate, stabilize your fucking breathing, stabilize your fucking mind. So, guys, I hoped this video helped you. If you want to help out the channel, pump up the likes, subscribe, join the free Discord. We have a Discord community, more than 1,500 members. See you guys there. See you guys next time. I am out.